KGO 810, Mark Thompson here. Very excited, always on Fridays, no matter what we do. I look forward to checking in on entertainment, things that are streaming, things that are beaming, things that are getting to you one way or the other. Michael Snyder's our boy. I'm Michael Snyder.
Hey, how are you, Mark?
It's a Skype call. Have we done a Skype call before, Howard, on this show? I don't think we have.
This is our second one.
This is our second one. Okay. Yeah, but this is our first with Michael, so we're very excited about that. Michael.
Hey, listen, I just want you to know, Mark, I'm happy to take some time away from the important work of making my Facebook cartoon avatar. You know, I've been knee deep in that.
Yeah, I'll bet. You know, I thought of you because I watched a movie that I didn't think I was going to watch. I saw the trailer for The Wrong Missy. It's a David Spade film on Netflix. It's done through Adam Sandler's company, and so it's got all the Adam Sandler-ish people, Rob Schneider, and it's got Adam Sandler's wife, and, you know, not that you know this unless you really follow. You'll see Rob Schneider, but you wouldn't know that this woman is Adam Sandler's wife unless you kind of follow the bouncing ball. Anyway, I thought of you because I saw the trailer, and I thought, oh, this looks ridiculous. I'm not going to watch this. And then somebody else said, no, it's really good. And so I watched it, and I'll be honest with you, I fell asleep because I'm not sleeping really super well, and so I can't stay up super late. But I fell asleep, and I really liked it, though. The first hour or so, or first 50 minutes, whatever it was that I watched, I really thought it was funny. Did you like it at all, or did it not hit you?
Mark Thompson here. Wait. So you liked it because it helped you fall asleep?
Very excited, always on Friday. Exactly. Is that what you got from that? Yeah. There was probably too much detail.
That's all I got
in my description.
That's all I got out of what you said. You liked it because it helped you fall asleep.
What's a guilty pleasure you have?
I like to fall asleep, Larry, to different films. What do you have for us today?
I have some good stuff, really good stuff. Well, at least one really good thing, because I'm a big fan of the Trip movies that began about 10 years ago. Actor Steve Coogan and his buddy Rob Brydon, who's a pretty funny actor and impressionist, both popular in the UK, they embarked on what might be their very last comedy-fueled culinary journey in a series of these travelogues, and it's called The Trip to Greece. They've done the trip to Italy, and man, I love Italian food, so I was in heaven. What they do is basically have an itinerary and go from restaurant to restaurant, from site to site, and constant commentary on current events, on literature and music, and a lot of pop culture references. And you see these places and these delicious meals, and you hear their conversation. It's like my dinner with two comedy Andres is what it is, only they're traveling all the time, and they're going to these gourmet eateries. First one was in the British countryside, and that was nice. But I got to tell you, the trip to Italy was so immersive that my mouth was watering as I watched, even though I was laughing. I was choking on my laughter from the saliva. But the new one,
it's funny that I really like the. I know you want to get to the new one, but I really like the. I like the first one. I thought it's funny. I thought it was the first one was almost a perfect little buddy movie with, as you say, the culinary stuff woven in. So I really like the first one. But you're saying this latest one has all of that and more.
Oh, yeah, well, all four of them are great, and they're originally shot by director Michael Winterbottom and cut into 6 half-hour episodes, and then he takes that and cuts it down further to a feature-length movie, and that's what we have available through streaming services. The Trip to Greece basically follows Odysseus's trip in the Odyssey back home. In this case, they start in Turkey and they end up in Greece, and it's just terribly entertaining stuff. And the highlights are these dueling impressions they do, kind of an ongoing game of can you top this? They did Sean Connery, they do Anthony Hopkins. In the very first film, The Trip, their battle of the Michael Caines was absolutely amazing. And in The Trip to Greece, as they're sitting and dining, they do a face-off of Mick Jagger's. Brydon does Marlon Brando. He's countered by Coogan's Robert De Niro. And even though they feel somewhat and are somewhat improvised. There are like through lines and arcs about personal growth and professional stuff and family matters, real stuff, and then they have fictionalized versions of the people in their lives. So it's a fictionalized Coogan and Bryden, but it has the ring of reality, and you can see it on streaming via Prime Video, Apple TV, YouTube, Google Play. It's all over the place. The Trip to Greece, and I love these movies.
Yeah, I love those too, and I love these films too. I can't wait to see that. I didn't know there was a new one out. That's great. What else have you got?
The Lovebirds teams a couple of actors with really solid comedy chops. Issa Rae and Kumail Nanjiani from Silicon Valley and various other enterprises. And it's kind of a lightweight rom-com crossed with a murder mystery. And it fizzes a little more than it fizzles thanks to these two likable leads. They play a New Orleans couple whose romance is on the skids until they find themselves a little more concerned with survival than petty bickering because they witness a murder and they go on the run throughout New Orleans because they're accused of the killing by onlookers, and they decide the only way they'll get out of trouble is by finding the real murderer. And the script has some dead spots when you'd prefer it to go full throttle. But again, Ray and Nanjiani make the most of it. And even if The Lovebirds is a trifle, it has that kind of summertime entertainment vibe that makes it fine for diversionary viewing right about now. I wish I was more excited about Inheritance. Inheritance is a kind of preposterous and sluggish, and it's questionably cast. Here is the strange brew, odd pairing. Lily Collins, that's right, Phil Collins' daughter, she of the caterpillar eyebrows, and ace comic actor Simon Pegg. Simon Pegg from Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and the TV show Spaced, and the rebooted Star Trek movies where he plays Scotty. They're paired up in this, and here's the deal. A rich New York bigwig dies, and his daughter, played by Collins, is a corruption-fighting Manhattan district attorney. If you've ever seen her, you're like, really? This is the district attorney? Yeah,
that's a stretch, right, just anyway, on the look. Yeah.
This guy's son is also, her brother is running for Congress with allegations of corruption dogging his campaign. So that sounds like a recipe for family dysfunction. And it gets worse when they read the will, and mom and the son get most of the money, and the daughter's inheritance is very weird. I'll just say that it involves someone who had a bizarre and significant relationship with not so dear old dad. And this guy is played by Pegg in, as I said, odd casting, but he does his best. Again, the biggest problem, other than the movie's kind of bonkers plot, and it is bonkers, is that Collins is too young and she's kind of gravitas challenged to play a New York City DA. By the way, mom is Connie Nielsen, who I would have thought as a big-time district attorney. I mean, she plays the Queen of the Amazons in the Wonder Woman movies. I mean, there's your gravitas.
Yeah, you could have made her the DA, exactly.
Smaller role, the tycoon. That tycoon daddy is played by Patrick Warburton, Putty from Seinfeld, Joe on Family Guy. I kind of wish, I wish Inheritance had been a comedy about the rich guy and his wife with Warburton, Nielsen, and like Pegg playing their butler instead of this dull mess that it is. But there you have it. One more quick.
Go ahead.
Torpedo U-235 is, again, often preposterous, but it's a lot of fun to watch. It's Belgian-made with subtitles for the French and Flemish and in English as well, and German. And it's all about a group of Belgian resistance fighters in World War II who are on a secret mission to bring uranium to America so the U.S. can fashion atomic bombs before Hitler. And how are the Belgians transporting the uranium? Via a stolen Nazi sub, and the captain of the vessel is a captured Nazi officer who wants to see his toddler son again, so he's going to play ball. And,
wow, that sounds actually pretty good. Is that good?
Well, it's hijinks. It's hijinks. Let me say, wait. So the leader of the resistance crew is embittered by his wartime losses, but his daughter, who's kind of a nubile sharpshooter in her late teens and very, very pretty, she's still alive and somehow ends up on the sub along with her resistance boyfriend and all these swarthy resistance fighters. So
is this a comedy or is this a drama?
No. It's an underwater sub wartime drama, and
Oh
the
my
rogue
God.
sub encounters the German Navy on. It's what you'd expect, but it's a little. Let's put it this way: the Americans and the British do these wartime movies better. But if you like submarine wartime action, this is fun. And again, it's available via various streaming services. I wish I could be a little more enthusiastic.
Well, you started with great enthusiasm about the trip to Greece, which is out now, the Lovebirds.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
it seems that you sort of your enthusiasm wavered enormously on Inheritance, and then ultimately,
Right, and then I perked up on the Torpedo movie.
Yeah,
perked up. I want to do a quick. We love live music, and we're not getting it. And I just wanted to say, a very talented, sweet-voiced Americana singer-songwriter I know, Leslie Stevens, L.A.-based, formerly of Leslie and the Badgers. She's playing a set tonight. Leslie Stevens live from home at 5 p.m. Pacific on YouTube, and it's free. There's a suggested donation via Venmo or PayPal. If you have the money, she deserves the support. But she has that kind of Dolly Parton, Iris DeMent vibe, and she's a real sweetheart. She's a very kind and decent woman in that upstanding Midwestern way. And
how do we get it?
She's very talented. YouTube. You can go to Facebook and look up Leslie Stevens Live from Home, or you can just go to YouTube and type that in, and it's 5 p.m. live on YouTube Pacific time.
Wow, that sounds great.
And this is their new hoax.
No, I don't think so. I think it's not a hoax, sir. I think it's the real thing. Michael, I love this. I love it. The live performance, the YouTube live performance, and I can't wait to get into the trip to Greece and some of the other offerings. He is Michael Snyder, the Culture Blaster on Twitter, at Culture Blaster, and you can find him in the Marina Times writing the Coastal Commuter column and other stuff out of Michael Snyder's great mind. We love that you stop in. Thank you, Michael Snyder.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All right. We'll check in with Pat and kind of tidy up around here next on KGO.